Okay.
Okay.
So, rhythm and beat.
Yes.
So, if we're in a duple time and we are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We want to count in the beat because we're basically setting. You don't just go 1, 2, 3, 4,
I see.
and then you start playing, or
Right.
you 1, 2, 3. I've had the students they don't know. They just go
pause
okay.
it, yeah.
So we're trying to set up how we're going to play. So if you're going Mary had a, right?
Yeah.
We're at this beat, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Mary had a. Now notice what I did with my body.
Yeah.
Because I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right?
3.
So in a 4 time
Yeah.
or 3 time,
Yeah.
that beat right before we're back to 1
Yeah.
is really important. Like if you're a conductor,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Right.
Right? We're always going up, and then we
One.
have our downbeat. Down.
Yeah.
1 is always straight down, and the 3 or the 4, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 1,
2,
3, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if we're feeling that in our body, and we're counting to 4, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Mary had a little lamb, right?
Okay, yes.
So we do that. If we're to show, like if I'm playing a wedding or something, and I've got a group of musicians, I'm going to be leading them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to count out loud. No
Right.
one wants to hear what I'm doing. But inside, I'm thinking to myself, 1, 2, Mary had. So my up breath, I take a breath on that upbeat before the down. And you can feel the speed from it. If I go 1, you can feel that it's going to be slow.
Yeah.
If I go 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can feel from my breath the speed that we're going to go.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you give me the cue, you can count, and that's great.
Yeah.
For now, we can keep it as a counting.
Yeah.
But I'd like you to think about what you're playing, what your beat is,
Yeah.
and count in that beat so that you're going to start your 1 and your Mary Had a Little Lamb right on time.
So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. We start, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if you're going to count that fast, you're going to Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. It's going to go really fast. So, okay.
Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Feels better?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'd like to talk, now that you're warmed up and we're starting to play music, not just a bunch of notes.
That's right.
Let's talk about how to get that bounce that starts. Do you notice it? Oftentimes when you start, you have that bounce, right?
Right.
Okay, so the bounce happens for many reasons. The bow bounces, and we want it to bounce. So, because there are certain bow strokes that we do that we want that springiness in the sound.
Yeah.
But we don't want it always to bounce. In fact, most of the time we don't.
Right.
So one of the things that will cause it to bounce is if your hand is tight. Another, if your elbow is too low.
Oh.
Or too high.
Right.
So when you approach your string, let's get into the. Let's turn this way so that you can see yourself in there. Okay, so when you approach your string, again, you want to put yourself into the middle. I'm going to turn you a little bit more so that you can see. We want to create a square between this and that. See how your elbow is just slightly below a square? It's a little bit like that. So you want to raise it up. There you go. So when you're in the middle of the bow, you really do want this to be straight. Okay? Then when we go up, the elbow's going to stay here. Okay, hold on. I don't know if you noticed, and you can look at the video later. You're raising your shoulder as you go up. Okay? So let's go back to that straight right here. And then you're going to go up. There you go. See how the elbow is kind of pushing the bow at this lower part. You can swing from the shoulder, but you that can help you when we want to pull the bow off the string. But if you do too much of that, you're kind of fighting yourself and then trying to bring it back. And then see what you're creating? You're creating
a pound.
Yeah. So we want to try to feel that feeling that you're getting, well, we don't want the shoulder up either. That you're resting on the string. This is resting on the string. And you want to feel like you're over that string, just resting. This part has to feel like you're resting on the string, not just your hand. Okay, I'm going to do something else with you. If you can put your violin down on the table for a moment.
Okay. So elbow up a little bit. Just relax.
Yeah, but I'm going to try something else with you. Okay. So I'm going to have you put the weight of your arm into my hand. Just rest as if you were leaning. I was a table or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now when I pull, I'm going to pull my hand away.
Yeah.
And I want that hand just to be super loose. Now, do you see how your hand is staying in place? I want it to feel like it's just going to fall to your side, because I'm just holding you up.
I see.
If I wasn't holdlding you, you would be down there.
I see. Okay? So relax.
So go back down to this, and don't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to lift up.
Okay.
You're already. When we play, we try so hard to hold our bow, to hold our arm up.
Right.
And the hardest thing that we need to do is actually to feel like, you know, a deck of cards when you're piling one card on top of another, and they're just balanced on each other. So when we play the violin, we start with our. I'm gonna go into the camera just a little bit, but so we start with our weight on our left foot. This is really, really important. This is where our balance is. So if we're going to position ourselves, you can position yourself. You put your feet together. Then you're going to go about a shoulder width apart. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your left foot, put it slightly forward, and lean onto it. Okay? So now my weight, and what
on left foot. I see.
So what I'll often do with my students is when you have one of these, like Mary had a little lamb, and there's another space in there. So you can play Mary had a little lamb, and stomp with your right foot. What's going to happen is you're learning to balance on your left leg. Okay, step one. Step two, your instrument is on your shoulder. And we talked last time about how if you put your arm over, you create a space for your instrument, right? So we've created the space. The instrument is on our left leg. You know, we're balanced here, so we've started to stack already. That goes there. This hand comes around, right? The fingers are also super loose. We have to get to a point where they just kind of rest into the violin. So now, again, I'm going to be using this left elbow, and I'm going to use that relaxed position so that my fingers don't have to squeeze to play, but I'm using a little bit of this as well. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I take my right hand, pretending there's a violin here, that's going to rest here. Now if you feel that, feel how this arm is being held by your leg. And then this is on there. See how loose that is? That's how we play.
I see.
We don't hold up our arms. We don't hold our bows.
I see.
The bow sits on the string, and this finger right here is, this pointer finger is what holds the bow onto the string. And then we relax the arm, and that's the hard part. So if someone took that bow away from you, you'd be there.
Good job. I see. So that relaxed.
That's how relaxed you are when you play. And when you have that tension of holding up, you're always fighting yourself. That's why your bow is bouncing.